I'm Elle.
And I'm Pat, and we are Paddock 43.
And this is your F1 fix.
It's early. Good morning from the side of the road out the front of the Today Show studio.
We've just done the Today Show. We've just recapped Quali and what's going to happen tonight. And if you're not staying up to watch the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix tonight,
You're crazy.
let this be your sign. We're going to give you a quick rundown of why this is so important and why you need to stay up and watch it. And when we say up, I know it's different for everyone, but in Australia, it's at midnight tonight. We've had a few people comment to me like, "Oh, up? It's at 5 a.m. for us." I'm like, good for you. That's
so
a normal
nice.
time. That's not that bad.
Mm.
But how are you feeling? How are you feeling after Quali last night?
I mean, besides the obvious that I'm tired because I slept for 1.5 hours. Look, am I surprised? No, for those that may have missed it. Although I don't think many people missed it because there was a poll on our Instagram and I think it was like for the Australians, 80% of people said that they were staying up. And there was a lot of chatter online. Max Verstappen took the pole as expected. Lando Norris 2. Oscar Piastri 3 as expected.
The thing that, though, on that is that you said 80% of Australians were staying up that responded to our poll. And they stayed up because Oscar could have had a chance. And I will be frank and honest here. I don't think this is Oscar's race.
No. I don't think
unfortunately.
I don't think he thinks that either.
Look, there was always hope, but Lando
Not now.
Norris finished 0.03 in front. Oscar did have the better lap time in Quali, and then Lando just nipped him at the butt really close to the end on that flying lap. So imagine if Lando wasn't third. And then he finished P6 and under and something happened. Because this race, though, is technically won from pole position more often than not. It is a pole position race. We're going to come down to the wire in that turn 1 and lap 1 of what happens. One safety car could literally...
Oh, my gosh. Or
fuck
just,
everything up.
I think...
Be like Latifi 2021.
Literally.
Did you see all like people like Lewis Hamilton has
Latifi.
the opportunity to do something so funny here and get Latifi back for that incident. And if no one remembers what we were referring to, in 2021 at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Latifi I think he was 16th. I think that's the exact position where he was. And on the third last lap, he crashed. And it was a battle between Max and Lewis for Drivers' Champion at this point.
Lewis was going for his 8th championship.
And Max was going for his first. Was it his first?
Yeah. His first.
Yeah. I was like trying to work that math out.
That was
in
his
my
first
head.
one.
Yeah. And anyway, FIA deemed like all these weird rules of where people could start again. And it was just one lap. And Max ended up pinching it from Lewis. So it would be very funny.
It's funny because it was like he spun out. And for those that missed it, Lewis spun out in Q1. Well, actually, he crashed in free practice 3 and then he spun out in Q1. He spun out in free practice 3 and then he lost in Q1.
Yeah, look, Lewis is just not having a...
He's not having a year.
Yeah,
And actually, there's a new...
Can't wait to be out of that Ferrari car.
He has a new record.
Yeah.
It's the first season that he hasn't won a race. Hasn't had a podium.
Shit.
Yeah.
Not a sprint?
Not one. Well, they don't count the sprint. They don't count the sprint as a
God,
podium.
the Ferraris are just probably so excited for the season to be over.
Oh, they are. I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but I saw this commentary of Charles Leclerc from last week at Qatar GP, and he was like... He said he found the race so boring because the car had no speed that he said he was doing the mathematics calculations of drivers' championships throughout the race of who could win the drivers' championship, which is hilarious. So on that though, back to drivers' championship.
All the other teams just sitting there watching it. They're just collecting data at this point, but also they're like, this car is doing nothing because we have new regulations next year, so we're just here for the fanfare.
I mean, they are, but yes and no, because I do think that everyone's eyes are on the 3 and maybe even the 2 now. But, George Russell is trying to get second, and he can, for Constructors Championship.
Yeah.
He can take that from Red Bull. So that's like a big one. Also Williams, like staying in that Williams and Aston Martin as well. Like so there is a little bit of, when you're thinking about money involved, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. So there is like a little bit of a battle in that section. I do think it's a bit of a write-off for Ferrari, which is frustrating, but you never know. Like Lewis, on the topic of Lewis, like he did really well a couple of weeks back where he climbed from like 16th to P5. So
he's had some promising moments because at the end of the day, Lewis Hamilton is a very skilled driver.
Yeah.
It's just his car clearly
like he's P6
sucks.
in drivers.
I'm going to be really interested to see what
happens next year.
Happens next year with the new regulations and Ferrari being a more hybrid engine.
Mm.
And also the fact that this is the last race that we have DRS. So there will be no longer a flap that opens. It'll all be down to a little button and Z mode and X mode. And, you know, FIA can determine if X mode is used or not, and it definitely won't be used in the wet, they're saying. And pretty much it's like a booster charge. Like, you press the button and you'll
like
get a
NOS.
little like
you get NOS.
Yeah, and
but not NOS.
It's 200, like they reckon it's 200 miles per hour a boost or something like that, but it can only happen within 1 second. So it's like still the same rules of DRS in zones.
I also think
it's bizarre.
Like we've looked at a steering wheel, a racing steering wheel up close, and the amount of buttons that are on that is insane. I still sometimes think about it and think how they do this. I was thinking about it over the weekend in Free Practice 1 when all the rookies were out, and it was funny because the Sky News commentators made a comment about George Russell because his racing engineer named one of the rookies incorrectly, and George Russell was like, and just letting you know, it's actually blah, 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 and corrected his racing engineer. And they were like, isn't it funny that, you know, he's going 200 Ks an hour down a straight, over 200 Ks an hour, and is figuring out what buttons to click, and then on top of that is also speaking, like correcting their race engineer. And when you think about that, and then so next year they're having to add in more buttons and different buttons and take away buttons, and it's just a whole other thing to figure out. That stresses me out.
So it'd be interesting to see how Ferrari goes with that.
Yes.
I mean, that's what Williams has been preparing for. So
yeah, they have been. And
that'll be interesting ones to watch next year. But at the moment, we're staying up. We're watching Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi tonight.
Abu Dhabi.
Because it's three people. Well,
I want to say something on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but I did a little post last night because I was just like a little bit frustrated with the commentary. I made a comment. Yeah. It does get frustrating, but I got frustrated with Nico Rosberg, and I really like Nico Rosberg. I think he's a fantastic commentator and obviously a legend of the sport. I just got frustrated because he was talking about the championship battle and kept referring to Max and Lando.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, mathematically, it's a very slim chance for Oscar to win it. But I still think, like, you need to keep him in the equation. And I just think this is what they are like. And even there was a Sky News podcast as well, and they were just talking about Lando and Oscar and Lando and Max. And granted, it's like most likely going to be the two. It's going to be out of the two of them, and that's the biggest battle. Like, you never know what can happen. Like, I genuinely think. Look,
I think Max Verstappen like won Mexico Grand Prix from the back of the grid.
Yes,
this
I
year.
think that Max will win the race. And if, like, nothing too crazy happens in the race, then Oscar will win the championship.
Lando will win.
Yeah. And but at the same time, like, maybe Lando could kind of lose his cool or something.
Lando could crash.
And then he could crash. Like, what if the pressure gets to him and he mistake and there's a battle between him and Max, lap 1, someone does something stupid, they collide, boom, Oscar takes it. They both DNF. Like, it could happen. Like, I don't think it'll happen, but it could happen.
Here's a scenario. Lando and Max and Oscar all crash and they all get DNF. Lando still wins Drivers' Champion.
Well, so be it. So be it. But
like,
I do think as well, anything is possible, but I do think as well, if that were to happen, I don't think that Oscar would be too chuffed about winning the championship that way. And I do think that Oscar, you know, watching him in press conferences, and I think that at Qatar GP, after Qatar GP and how he reacted, which was so warranted, I think that was him going, I haven't won the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, I think he knows.
And he knows. And I'm even looking at, like, I'm looking at how he's interacting with Zach Brown. It's very light. It's very relaxed. It's very... Yep, you know, I'm here whilst I'm watching Lando's interactions, and I'm watching Lando's interactions, and Lando is like you can see there's a lot more fear and stress inside him, and I think that Oscar's kind of made peace with the fact that he hasn't won.
They're running separate garages this race, but I think that Oscar is still waiting for team orders, and I think he actually might follow the team orders because I think
so
he
too.
will follow it because he knows that if he doesn't, it could result in bad blood for the team and ruin a lot of that dynamic. So I think he's sort of probably coming to the fact. That's what, look, this is assumptions. This is what we think.
And also,
and
I
so
think
time will tell when we watch tonight, which we probably have to wrap this up, by the way, Pat.
yeah, but also I will say quick on that note as well that I think obviously Oscar, I'm sure he's feeling very disappointed, but I also think that he has made peace. I think
Sorry if you're watching this and you can see me frustrating trying to fight for my earring.
I think he's like so level-headed that I think he's probably made peace with the fact that he isn't winning Drivers' Championship. And I think that he, in the end, like he would want his team to win. It's not like he would want Max to win. He obviously would prefer Lando to win over Max. You know, if you look at it at a bigger picture level in terms of, I guess it comes, but also like a bigger picture level if it comes down to something like money.
Yeah.
Because everything comes back to money. That it's obviously better for him that Lando wins. So time will tell. I'm excited. I hope it's an interesting race.
Same.
Because
I was about to say something very dark, but I just need it to be interesting because we're staying up.
It'll be
All right.
interesting.
Peace and pout. We will see you tomorrow morning.
Peace and pout. Yeah, not that.
We will be online and all night watching. And thank you for joining us for our very raw and quick little episode
Episode from the car.
Bye.